NASCAR, the smell of rubber, the thunder of horsepower, the strategy, the speed, and sometimes the absolute stupidity. Yep, we said it. Because if you think NASCAR is all speed and serious faces, then you've got to think again. Behind the roaring engines and high-stakes finishes, there's a whole other side of racing. One filled with bloopers, awkward celebrations, and moments so hilarious you'll be left with a belly ache from laughing so hard. This is the funniest NASCAR moments of all time, where the track meets total chaos and the most unexpected slip-ups. From car hoods flying up mid-lap to fans climbing the fence like it's a rock wall, or a victory celebration that ends in a belly flop, these are the moments that remind us that behind the helmets and horsepower, NASCAR drivers are human too, and sometimes hilariously so. So, if you thought NASCAR was all intensity and no nonsense, buckle up. Because while winning takes skill, making a total mess of it, that's pure entertainment. You see, victory tastes sweet, but sometimes it comes with a face full of grass. It was 2011. Austin Dillon had just clinched the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship at the Ford 200. At only 21 years old, he'd made history. Young, bold, driving the iconic number 3 truck, and now a series champion. So, naturally, celebration mode kicked in. He leapt out of his truck, adrenaline surging, crowd roaring, cameras flashing, and sprinted toward the grass. Why? Because belly slides are cool. He dove, arms out, full speed, but the grass said no. Instead of gliding triumphantly across the infield like some victorious seal, he stuck almost immediately. His legs shot upward in a classic scorpion move. Face down, feet up, pride slightly dented. And while it wasn't the epic celebration he imagined, it was pure, unscripted gold. And in true Dillon fashion, he laughed it off. Got up, grinning, brushing grass off his fire suit like nothing happened. That botched belly slide, it made the win even better. It wasn't perfect, but it was human. It was hilarious. It was unforgettable, and it definitely was one of the funniest, most endearing championship celebrations in NASCAR history. Zero regrets, maximum replay value. But it's not just pit road where NASCAR's funniest moments live. Sometimes the gold comes through the radios. An example of this is Tony Stewart at Bristol in 2012. After a tense battle with Matt Kenseth, things boiled over when the two made contact mid-race. Stewart's number 14 spun out, and the caution came out. But it wasn't the wreck that made headlines. It was what happened next. As Kenseth rolled under yellow, Stewart climbed out of his wrecked car, helmet in hand, and launched it. With the precision of a major league pitcher, he hurled it directly at Kenseth's hood. Bullseye. The crowd erupted. Even the broadcasters couldn't help but laugh. It wasn't just frustration, it was performance art. Whether you loved or hated him, Stewart knew how to make an impact. And at Bristol in 2012, he reminded everyone that in NASCAR, the drama doesn't end when the engines cool down. Sometimes, that's when it's just getting started. But if anyone knew how to turn a finish line into a stage, it was Carl Edwards with a signature flip that always stole the show. You see, Carl Edwards had a trademark move. Win the race, park the car, climb out, and nail a picture-perfect backflip off the driver's side door. It was clean. It was showmanship. It was Carl. But at Richmond in 2009, that flip didn't quite stick the landing. After a strong finish, the cameras were rolling, the crowd was buzzing, and Edwards went for his usual celebration. He leapt, and mid-air, everything changed. Instead of rotating smoothly, he under-rotated, and he landed awkwardly. But instead of brushing it off, Edwards leaned into the moment. He joked about it afterward in interviews, acknowledging the misstep with his usual charm. It was a rare misfire in what had become a flawless signature move, and it humanized the guy, because it proves that even the most athletic drivers can have an off day in the air. And if you think Carl's black flips are bizarre, wait till you hear what he did in Talladega in the year 2009. The 2009 Aaron's 499 at Talladega was a complete chaos on 4 wheels, and Carl Edwards was right at the center of it. On the final lap, Edwards was leading the charge down the front stretch with Brad Keselowski closing in fast. As they approached the tri-oval, Keselowski dipped low to make his move. Edwards attempted to block, but contact sent the number 99 car spinning, then flying. His car went airborne, and when it landed, it was a terrifying wreck. It was one of the most violent crashes Talladega had seen in years. And yet, somehow, Edwards climbed out of the mangled wreck, unhurt. But he didn't just walk away. He ran. Edwards jogged the final stretch on foot toward the finish line. Officially, he scored 24th. But in that moment, he won the respect of everyone watching. From Edwards running to the finish line on foot to Keselowski chugging a Miller Lite mid-press conference, these guys keep proving that post-race moments can be just as legendary as the race itself. After clinching his first NASCAR Cup Series championship in 2012, Brad Keselowski showed up to the post-race press conference with the Sprint Cup trophy in one hand and a cold Miller Lite in the other. True to his sponsor and himself, he didn't hold back. Mid-question, he burped, loudly, then answered as if nothing happened. Keselowski was clearly buzzed, grinning from ear to ear, unapologetically soaking in the moment. He spoke openly, laughed freely, and let the beer flow like it was Sunday at the barbecue. Reporters tried to keep it professional, but even they couldn't help laughing as he powered through the presser, bottle after bottle. It wasn't reckless, it was raw, real, and so very Brad. No polished PR spin, no overly rehearsed answers. Just a driver who had fought tooth and nail all season long, finally letting loose in the most human way possible. That night, Keselowski didn't just celebrate a championship, he gave fans one of the most refreshingly honest moments in NASCAR history. No filters, no script, just a champion with a trophy, a beer, and zero pretense. And speaking of zero pretense, in 2018, J.J. Yeley delivered his own unforgettable moment. In the final stage of the 2010 Bank of America Roval 400, J.J. Yeley gave fans an unintentional comedy highlight. On lap 75, the driver of the number 23 Toyota misjudged a corner and slammed into a barrier, then drove off with a giant Bojangles' Chicken and Biscuits sign stuck to the front of his car. For several laps, Yeley unknowingly transformed into a rolling advertisement. The sign flapped dramatically as he circled the track, drawing laughs from fans and broadcasters alike. Eventually, his pit crew jumped in and peeled the sign off during a stop, freeing the car and the Bojangles logo. Now let's shift gears to the fans. NASCAR fans are passionate. They paint their bodies, wave ridiculous signs, and sometimes storm the track. Yeah, in the middle of a race. During the green flag in Dover, cars thundered through Turn 4 at nearly 170 mph. Then, without warning, a man climbed the catch fence. Not during a caution, not during a break. He scaled the fence while the race was happening. This fan somehow made it through the barriers and got high enough to dangle directly above the racing line. The broadcast caught it live. Commentators fell into stunned silence. You could see the car streaking past just beneath his feet. A few feet closer, and it could have turned tragic. But here's the part that baffled fans even more. NASCAR officials let the race continue uninterrupted, even as security rushed to remove him. He resisted arrest, reportedly kicking an officer in the knee before being subdued. He was immediately charged with multiple offenses, including trespassing, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct. Passion is part of the sport. But climbing the fence? That's not passion, that's reckless. And if you want to see passion turn ugly, just rewind to Talladega in 2004, when Jeff Gordon snagged a controversial win, and fans responded not with boos but with beer cans. Dozens of them, flying through the air like missiles as he pulled into victory lane. Talladega Superspeedway is no stranger to chaos, but in April 2004, the mayhem didn't just come from the track, it came from the stands. Jeff Gordon had just won the Aaron's 499, or at least that's what the record book says. In reality, the finish was anything but clean. With 5 laps to go, the race was heating up. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Talladega's fan favorite and hometown hero, was battling for the lead. Then came the caution. NASCAR froze the field, and by the time it was sorted, Gordon was declared the leader. Fans weren't having it. As Gordon drove toward victory lane, the grandstands erupted, not in applause, but in fury. Boos echoed through the superspeedway, and then the beer started flying. Hundreds of cans rained down onto the track, and Gordon's number 24 car. Security scrambled to protect the pit area. Track workers tried to calm the crowd. Gordon's team rushed to celebrate, cautiously. It was one of the most hostile celebrations in NASCAR history. Gordon, composed as ever, waved from behind his window net, trying not to flinch as cans clanged off his car. NASCAR didn't overturn the result, but the message from the stands was loud and clear. You can win at Talladega, but if you beat Dale Jr. in controversial fashion, don't expect confetti, expect beer cans. And that's the checkered flag on NASCAR's funniest, most unpredictable moments. At this point, NASCAR should start handing out awards, not just for wins and poles, but for best radio meltdown, best fence climber, and much more. The sport isn't just fast, it's funny. And the best part? these moments aren't rare. They happen every season, sometimes every race. So, next time you're watching a race and someone spins into the pit wall, don't just worry, watch closely. That's probably going to be the next viral moment. Thanks for watching. Please go ahead and smash that like button, share with a fellow NASCAR fanatic, and let us know your favorite chaotic moment in the comments.